Talking of unicorns, my name is Jason Rees. I'm the CEO of Farepilot. Farepilot is a machine learning startup. We're based out of London, and we're backed by Shell and BCG. Just gone through Series A. Let me start by talking about these guys. Let's talk about our customers. So, how many people know about Uber? Probably everyone. How many people use Uber regularly or Lyft regularly? Yeah, most of us. It's pretty compelling. The fares are low. There's a huge oversupply of drivers. We can always get a cab when we need one in all the major cities. Actually, from a passenger point of view, it's a good job done. It's pretty compelling. But how does that work for the drivers? Malik is one of ours. He's a great guy. He's one of our drivers in London. He's typical in that he's in the 80% of drivers that are, have been driving for a year. They're new to market. They're unfamiliar with areas outside of their own locality. So they need all the help they can get. They're also, he's also in the 49% actually of drivers that work full-time rather than part-time. And like most of the drivers that we've surveyed and we know about, they are not really loyal to one platform. They'll drive for Uber, Lyft, Taxify, whoever. So actually, when you look at the number one feedback that we've had from these customers, what's their biggest pain point? It's pretty simple. It's pretty mercenary as well. It's finding more fares. Give me more fares. Allow me to make more money. Secondly, 57% of them don't really understand their cost base. They need more help. We all want help saving money, but actually, again, the more help they can get, the better. And I guess lastly, just to pick up on the loyalty point that I just made, actually, not only are these customers fairly promiscuous, shall we say, with the platforms that they work with, 95% of them will take jobs from any platform. 95% of them want extra fares from whichever platform will provide it. Pretty compelling. So great for passengers, not so great for drivers. There's some pretty big pain points. Interestingly, ride-hailing on the rise, a lot of that demand is actually incremental demand. It's not, that's not actually chipping away into the existing taxi business. You can see it's fairly flat. So the reason UI and everyone else is starting to use this is partly because it's really convenient and it's replacing other modes, bus, train, tram, whatever. So our vision at Farepilot is to use technology to improve to make a better working life, if you like, for all of our drivers across all of the major cities in the world. We're building a data platform, fundamentally, and we're going to use that data platform to help drivers to save money, to save time, to earn more money, and critically, we're committed to growing greener cities. So for us, reducing congestion is a really big part of that. Let's talk about the product. So the product that solves so many of those pain points. 3 key pillars to the product. First of all, demand hotspots. As you can imagine with a data platform, that's a pretty logical place to start. This is really about directing drivers to where you get hotspots of demand. And that helps to reduce idle time. It helps us with reducing congestion on the roads. Critically, we integrate supply into that as well, and I'll talk about that in a second. Partner offers. This is really helping those drivers to save money on the things that matter. Leasing, rentals, insurance, maintenance, food, fuel. You get the picture. And lastly, as I just alluded to, 95% of drivers want jobs from anywhere. Farepilot from January, hopefully Q1, we'll see. I'll come back and tell you. We want to start offering scheduled B2B jobs for our drivers to start adding to those fares, to give them what they want. And you know what? All of that is for free. Sitting behind that, we have obviously our data model. We've got a proprietary algorithm. Think of it as a layer cake. It starts with a layer of historical demand. That's really pick up and drop off data. On top of that, we then layer a number of live feeds, check-in data, traffic data, all the things you'd expect to see. On top of that, again, then we layer supply data, our own driver supply, and that's really, really important because that's what differentiates us from Uber Surge. Uber Surge just throws as many drivers as it can at a demand problem. That's not great for the drivers. They get there's 200 other drivers there, that's no good. Actually, what we're doing is we're throwing supply into the mix as well, and that's a really, really important point because that's what helps to grow greener cities. That's what helps to reduce that congestion. And we're autonomous after 15% of the city. If I can summarize in the last 20 seconds, and I know Jan's looking at me, key points for investors. First of all, it's pretty key that we're solving some pretty real problems for drivers. Great product. We're answering the customer feedback, and we're making a difference. Secondly, we've got product market fit. We've got over 20,000 customers on the platform already. across London, LA, and more recently New York. And that's just the start. That's just within a one-year period, and that's with a full global rollout ahead. Thirdly, we are building a data platform, but unlike a lot of other data startups, and we do think startups are still very much alive, we're actually trying to monetize along the way. We're very keen to make sure that we monetize through affiliate revenue, through those partner discounts I just talked about, through a revenue share of jobs for the jobs I just talked about. And later, we think that future data licensing opportunities exist where you need an entity that understands supply and demand, can utilize supply and demand across those transport network operators. We think that's quite a strong position for us to work with municipal authorities, fleet providers, transport planners. And I guess the last message really is we're open for business, and that's really why I'm here. We've just been through Series A. We're opening a B round in January. Shell and BCG, I'm sure if they're on stage with me, and I'm sure there's some in the audience, I just got here too late to recognize them, would all say that we're very keen to make sure that other investors come to join us for the next round and become part of the Farepilot growth story. So I'm here. If there's my details. If anyone wants to get in touch, more than happy. Would love to hear from you. Thanks very much for listening. Much appreciated.